Hello guys, we are back here to continue our project, and in this class we will edit the glasses, insert trees and surface materials. So the first thing here is to fix these curtain wall vertical bars. We have these bars not being filled, so I will create a new layer. Over structure layer, and here I'll call curtain wall bars, and I use the rectangular selection to make the selection. And maybe you need to correct some accuracy to have a better selection, but here I see it in a further distance, so you don't need to care too much about this precision. I will hold the shift key to add selection, so holding shift we can add selection, but here was too much wrong, so I need to select. Here I need to use the Alt to remove, and again Shift to add selection. Don't care about this inner area, this white inner area, and also with the ceiling. Shift to add selection. Also here, Shift to add selection. Space bar to use the pen, dragging my drawing. And here at the ground floor, so holding shift I will add some selection, and after I use the paint bucket with white color and click Ctrl D to deselect, and I need to place this layer below the PDF layer. So now I have the perfect view, and after you could make some corrections if you want, like this area that is not correct with the selection, and pressing delete we can make these corrections. And then now to proceed I will create a layer for glass. So here I want a green glass, and using this layer I will first use the PDF layer to make the selections. So selecting PDF layer, I use the magic wand to select, so click here and pressing shift I will add selection, all these areas where I want glass, and then I will change to green color. So I want a green like this. And using the paint bucket, now I go to the glass layer. So I will click to add this color to the glass layer, Ctrl D to deselect, and now I'll decrease opacity. Now have a light green effect for these glasses. So I want a smooth effect, something like 10% of opacity. And now I will insert some trees in our project to complete the landscape. I will insert the trees in the first moment above all layers, and after I will replace it. So selecting here the the top layer, I will drag this PNG file to my project, press enter, right click to rasterize the layer, Ctrl T to free transform, and holding shift to keep proportions, I can resize the object, and selecting the move tool, holding alt key, I can copy, and in this copy I can resize to create different compositions. And also when I make a copy, I need to press enter and then make another copy, Ctrl T to free transform, and right click I could flip horizontal to have a small difference in my composition, even using the same tree type. Press enter and make another copy, resizing the object. And to complete, I will insert the other tree type, press enter, right click, rasterize layer, Ctrl T, and shift to keep proportions as I resize this plant. And also I could, using the alt to copy, Ctrl T, right click, flip horizontal, and resize the tree. So now I will select all these 3 layers and click on this folder to create a group. So I have a group with trees, and I can drag this group, trees, keeping it above the sky. So now I have the trees behind my building, behind people, behind all these settings, behind soil, and in front just of the sky layer. And now I can add it inside this group, some of these trees, decreasing the opacity with different opacities for each tree to create a dynamic landscape, a dynamic background. So here I can decrease a little bit, and here I decrease. So for each tree I have a different opacity, some of them more highlighted and others being like a smooth effect disappearing at my background. I need to keep in mind that the building is my focus here, the architectural project is the object to be highlighted here. In my composition, I think it is better to decrease a little bit this tree. So you can adjust your composition as you want. And here we have the basis for our background, for our landscape. And we will insert some surface materials. So now I will drag to my project the wood. I have this texture. Press enter, and then I'll drag it above my PDF layer. So I have here the soil, glass, above PDF. And I need to rasterize the layer, right click, rasterize, and decrease the opacity to have a better view. Ctrl T to free transform. I will resize this texture, and also I will rotate to have this wood texture on the vertical direction. So I can insert, and I'll make some copies. Press enter. I'll make some copies holding Alt key. Don't care about the overpassing of these textures. I'll insert here. I will not use it on my wardrobe, just at the doors of wardrobes, so you can have these overpassing textures. And also I'll copy for this side here, and at the ground floor in this area I'll have these materials. I'll make just an adjustment here. So I'll have this material here on my column in this wall. I need to adjust a little bit. And now I'll make a selection on the areas that I want to apply this material, and go into PDF layer. I can make the perfect selection using the magic wand. So I'll click in some areas. I'll click here, and then holding Shift to add selection, I'll click here and here on these wardrobe doors. This area, Shift, and on the column. So I have all the areas selected. I need to come back with the opacity. I could do it before copying the elements, but here I will increase the opacity to 100%. And also I could merge these layers or turn it into a group. I will select all these layers with Shift. So holding Shift, you can make this selection. Right click, merge layers. So now I have just one layer for wood. And then I will apply a mask using this selection. Clicking here in this icon, add layer mask. The mask is created, and then I have the perfect cut to apply wood. And now I will make the same thing to apply other materials. I have marble, so on my rooms I will apply this material. Right click, rasterize. I'll place here, decrease opacity, Ctrl T to free transform and adjust the scale. So I can keep here this material, press enter and alt to copy to this another area. And now I can merge the layers, selecting them, but just before I do it I need to put 100% of opacity, and right click, merge layers, go into PDF layer. I can use the magic wand again to select this area, and holding Shift to select this another area. Now coming back to marble layer, click to create a mask. Then we have the applying of this material, the application of this material, and then I'll finish inserting this gray stone. I'll drag it into my project, press enter, right click to rasterize the layer, Ctrl T to free transform. And as this stone has a different pattern, this is a pattern that I don't have to care too much about keeping proportions. I'll just drag this texture here, adjust the position, And here I could decrease the opacity to have a better view. And selecting PDF, I'm gonna use the magic wand. Click to select this area, shift to add selection, coming back to this gray stone. I put 100% of opacity and click to create a mask. So we have the applying of these materials. I also could control the intensity of these materials, decreasing a little bit the opacity. For example, here on wood, I could decrease a little bit the opacity of wood. On marble as well, I can decrease a little bit. So we have our building with surface materials and our composition with sky, trees, soil. Now the only thing lacking is some lighting effects, and we're gonna do it in the next class. So wait for you. Bye bye.